I am Dyana Rozay, and I bring a unique commentary. I am Dyana Rozay, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by Dyana Rozay on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, everyone? Come on in to the room, child. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you guys have been having a good weekend, okay? If you can hear the sound of my voice, you already know what to do. Drop your city and or state into the chat. That way I can give you a shout out. Thank you to all of my mods who are here tonight. Good evening. Good evening. This is the late show, child. We are here to chit chat during the late show. What's up, Venus? What's up, Cookie? Anyone you see with a purple wrench behind their names, they are here to make sure that you have a good time in the chat. Okay. What's up, New Jersey? What's up, Philadelphia? What up, Chicago? How are you? Come on in. Come on in. West Pole for Venus today, child. She gets around. Okay. Good for you, Miss Venus. I'm happy to see that you are still moving. Okay, what's up, Melbourne? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Indianapolis, welcome. I appreciate seeing where everybody comes from. Tuscaloosa, what's up? STL, what's up? I appreciate you guys for coming in. Nashville. So, y'all, listen, I hope that you're feeling okay. I've been, paying attention to social media, and there has been a lot, still going on, clearly. Okay. A lot still going on when it comes to the late Miss Kiki. So I've gotten an opportunity to see some of that. Also, people have been discussing it in my Facebook group. If you follow me on Facebook at Dyana Rozay, what's up, Hot Lana? If you follow me over there on Facebook, it's just a hot topic, right? But some other things that just went down was number one. Let me see what you got to say. St. Louis, I have a bone to pick with Sonny and Moses about my city. Good. I want to hear what you have to say about Sonny and Moses, child, because they gave us a little bit extra on the show today. Now, I said that this is not my official review. This is your time to come in and chit chat, because when my sister, me and Clone do the sister review, we don't take commentary. We don't bring people up. So this is your chance to talk about the show if you'd like. It was an interesting one. Okay. I remember words like altogether 15 years. I got red stuff in my hand. Altogether, he's been in jail for prison, not jail. 15 years. Holy shit. What's up? What's up? What's up? So I do remember that. Okay. Also, it looks like Miss Kenya Moore, who, if I'm not mistaken, there was nothing found because she exited the process of the investigation for Revenge P. She said that she would later reveal what she needed to her fan base or to the public. But y'all, it looks like Sally Beauty Supply Store, of which I used to work when I was a child, when I was, getting your first job. I used to work there for a couple of years. Anyway, they said that Sally gave them the boot. That Sally gave Miss Kenya Moore the boot. She will not be in their stores. I guess they're discontinuing everything. So all of the products usually will go to a reduced price. And then by the end of 2024, they said they expect all of her product to be out the store. And some people are alleging that it may have something to do with the Revenge P. I don't think that Sally Beauty Supply is officially saying that. What's up, hot Las Vegas? I bet you it is burning up in Las Vegas, child. What's up, Trinidad and Tobago? So that is a hot topic item. They are also saying that P. Diddy, that it is official that the feds are moving forward with bringing charges against him, and then moving forward with the next. And because of it, it was alleged that he got married over the weekend to his youngest baby mama. So I don't know if you guys would like to discuss that, but that is on the table to discuss, and whatever you would like to discuss, because this is your chat. Okay, this is late night. You get to discuss what you like to discuss. Okay, so I'm going to put this into the chat right now. Here is a link to come up. If I'm doing it right. Yep, I think I'm doing it right. Okay. I do ask that you be as respectful as possible if you are having conversations about Miss Kiki, and that is because, from what I'm understanding, I saw a lot of comments about her children being online and seeing some of the things that people have been saying. I did have two people in my chat saying that they were related to her in my comment section, and then I saw it in other people's videos as well. Okay, so it is up to you to discuss it. I did give you guys a poll question at the beginning. If you are interested in doing the poll, go ahead and give your vote, and then we'll talk about it. And it had to do with Miss Kenya. Let's see. Liza Moore Lies said, amazing how Kenya is getting held accountable and hasn't been convicted, and not a thing has happened to Martell. Maybe I'm reaching. Oh, you guys tell me. I know that people have different opinions about it, okay? So yeah, again, it has not been confirmed that that was the reason why, but there are people who are alleging that it's the reason why Kenya was let go. It was because of the revenge plea. If I'm not mistaken, the audio that I heard just said that we are discontinuing, and they understand that people may have some feelings around it, and may actually relate it back to what had happened on the show and what took place on social media. But there are others who, I think they ended it with, we were planning on discontinuing her anyway. That was a statement that was read on Michelle Brown's channel, where she said someone had sent it to her and said that they were planning on discontinuing her anyway. And this is the preferred statement if anyone calls and asks questions about it. I never saw Kenya's beauty products in Sally's. Canvas is still in Sally's in your area. Have I seen Kenya in Sally's? I want to say that I've seen her in Sally's. I think I've also seen her like at either, I believe it's CVS. I think I saw her at CVS as well. I think. I don't want to lie, but I feel like I saw her in both. How dumb of Stormy to say that she got arrested for the same thing as Martell. He was charged with showing pictures of Mel. I think that's what you're trying to say. Pictures of Mel. Of showing pictures of Mel to Mel and making a threat. That was what he was charged with. I have to agree with you, Liza. Mo lies, child. All right. When is the Bessemer celebration for Kiki? So I don't have the flyers to discuss that. I know that there was a balloon release today, and everybody had purple balloons, and they were, thank you very much, Miss Venus. 280 of you watching. Please hit the like button for me, please, and thank you. There was a balloon release, and everybody had purple balloons. It was looked really pretty, and I think it was set up by some friends from school. I think it was friends from school, not necessarily family, but I do believe that members of her family were there. But it was more of her friendship group or her friend group, even though family members may have been there. I don't know where it was held either, to be honest. But they are playing little snippets of it all over social media. Yes, she is in CVS. Okay, I see someone saying that she is in CVS. I thought I saw her there. So nothing has been said about her being in CVS. And let's see, if she is discontinued, she should sell her products fulfilled by Amazon. We shall see. Listen, it is a finicky business, the hair care business. There's products that I love. I always go and look for stuff that works for me in my hair. And I have really frizzy hair. It's all twisted now, and I have it in like a permanent lock. But it's really hard to find products that you want to stick with. Not every product work for us, right? We have to find the ones that work for our particular hair type and porosity. I'm saying that right. The balloon release was held in Bessemer. Kiki's mother and grandparents and uncle were there. Okay. Um, it was held at her high school. Okay, so you guys seem to know a little more about it. It was at her high school, so I guess that, and it looks like, Bessemer is a small town. A lot of people knew her. It looks like Kiki never really left the Alabama area, so she was able. This is a big impact for a lot of people. Bottom line, anytime you have someone who leaves sooner than they are supposed to leave, it is going to humble you. Period. It's going to humble the people that talked to her every day, that saw her every day, and it's going to humble the people that may not have been on good terms with her. Period, point blank. I know a lot of people have been saying different things, but the truth of the matter is, when someone is gone too soon, even for the people that, thought that, you could call me, you should have been able to talk to me and I would have helped you get through it. If she didn't make that call, you have those feelings, right? And then there's different stories out there about what may have happened. I think there's 3 stories so far. So there's a lot of different things that's going on. But it will humble everyone that's involved for various reasons, right? So we will see. We got them purple hearts in the chat. But it has been I did a big sigh, but it's been really heavy. So just for me watching, so I can tell you, I understand that it's heavy for the people who knew her well. I knew her from the show. So the people who knew her well or were family members or friends, it still has to be very humbling what is going on in this very moment, right? So Trisha didn't show up. Trisha didn't show up where? Which one are you talking about? Trisha as in the TV show? Please help me understand. Martell and the Scotts were talking about the millimeters this episode. So Martell was talking about the millimeters, I believe, to Stormy. I don't think Tisha and Marceau weren't there. Tisha and Marceau weren't on tonight's episode. Let's see what else you guys got going on. I'm trying to see if you want to come up. I'm dropping the link, y'all. I'm dropping the link and I'm reading comments as well. 359 of you are watching. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me, okay? Let's see. Let's hope, Diana, that this terrible tragedy will change people's hearts. I hope so. They did honor her at the end of the episode today. Thank you, Miss Cookie. So it sounds like they did make a comment about her life today, and that is good. So I'm happy that that did happen, and everybody has been sharing their thoughts and feelings on social media, as you know. It comes up because again, I know a lot of people have been getting on Carlos about not saying her name, but the truth of the matter is grief is personal. Grief is personal, and a lot of people demand to see things online or on social media. Sometimes it's just you can't do it. Sometimes it's not there for you to say or do in that moment, and you got to let people get there on their own time. Why do women that was cheated on and disrespected for years get so much hate? Give me an explanation. Give me who you're talking about, because some may say that Tisha's getting a lot of hate. She's been cheated on for years, allegedly. Okay. Let me put this banner up, child. This discussion is about current events, reality TV, pop cultures for entertainment purposes only. All comments, including those that you see in the chat, mine and the chat, are alleged, okay, and opinion only. Oops, sorry about that. So more purple hearts. Thank you, guys. Y'all have been saying a whole lot of stuff in the videos that I dropped yesterday and the day before, for Stormy, for Tisha, when Tisha dropped her video. There was a whole lot of stuff being said in those comments, child. At one point, I was like, maybe I should shut the comments down. And then I said, it doesn't matter. You feel what you feel, child. You feel what you feel. I wouldn't be able to be around anyone when I'm grieving, especially I couldn't be televised, especially couldn't be televised. My mind has to be right. That's right. It affects you differently. I've experienced close family members who passed, and I have to say that my feelings with what happened to my mother was completely different from anybody else in my family. Not that I did not love the people in my family, um, all of them. It's just that you carry the grief differently. And I think people don't always get that. Maybe you haven't had those experiences in your life, but you carry grief differently. You can get over a little quicker, and some stick with you for always. It's just hard to explain. But I can't even say it's hard to explain. It's just that some will stick with you for always. And what happens in life happens. I remember, this is just my own personal experience because I'm trying to get people to feel comfortable with talking about it. And my sister will tell you, I was not prepared to see my father. I remember that. You think you're prepared, you think you're ready, you go into the church and you see everybody and you're doing your talk. And when I saw him in the casket, took me out, took me out. Um, can't even explain it. But again, the grief I had when seeing my father, completely different from what I experienced when seeing my mother, and both of them I carry completely differently. But that is what happens in life. It is what happens in life, and so we're on the outside judging about what it should look like for others, and how this person may not be, good, or this person will never be the same again. It's different for everybody, and you may not even have any malice or hate or any of those things in you for that person. It will just sit with you differently. Grief is so personal, cannot be judged. You have to let people do it on their own time. That's right. There's some people who just don't accept it. There's a lot. There's a lot. I think he was ashamed to speak on Kiki. You think so? I do think that Kenya should lose her brand in any store. I don't think, oh, I was about to say, what's going on? I don't think that she should lose her brand in any store. If people are satisfied with her brand, they should keep her brand in the stores. Okay, understood, understood. Um, let's see. She was a huge personality. So right now we are talking about, if you'd like to discuss the TV show Love and Marriage Huntsville, this particular episode, episode 10, which I am not going to give a review on right now because my official review is tomorrow at 1:30 with my sister Clone. So please check that out. Make sure you have your notification bell on. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. I am wearing, if y'all did not notice, it looks like Beyonce, but this is actually Tina Turner. This is my Tina Turner shirt today. I just feel who my grandmother, my grandmother's sister actually was a rival cheerleader with in Tennessee, if y'all did not know, which I don't think everybody did. Just feel like they should cast Just feel like the cast should take things more serious on the show, like the revenge P that Martell put out there and his behavior before other things occur within the show. Well, we're seeing the revenge P literally just became a storyline this season. And a lot of people are not satisfied with that storyline, but the revenge P, the arrest happened, the conversation around the arrest happened this season, right? And then his conviction happened while the season was actually in motion. So if something else happens, it looks like it will happen on the second part. And people have to be patient and let that play out. I don't think that the show can do anything different because that information wasn't out there about what happened. The conviction didn't happen before the season. It happened in the middle of the season. Okay, let's see. In my opinion, the reason Carlos and Stormy are at the forefront of this season, the reason Carlos has Stormy at the forefront of this season, and the reason she hinted on leaving is because he is setting her up for a spinoff. You think so? I don't think so. That one I don't believe yet. I don't know why, but I don't feel like Stormy is even open to a spinoff. I don't know. She may be. I don't want to take any blessings out of her basket. I just don't see it. I don't see it for some reason. She had a hard time on this show. So her having a hard time on the show, I don't see how she would move it to another show, even if it is her own. Seeing your mom in a casket is a different feeling for sure, 100%. But seeing both of your parents, and like I said, I have it was a different response and reaction than what I had from my father. It seems like all the producers of the show were told to tell each cast member to say something negative about the millimeters and made sure to say that Mel told them to activate. Mm, okay. Good night, Venus. My daughter was just telling me she saw me cry twice in her life. I'm more of a private mourner. Okay. All right. Let me scroll down a little bit more, making sure I'm not missing anything that you guys are sharing. 432 of you are watching right now. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. Please make sure that you hit the like button and also become a Supreme Team subscriber. So hit the subscribe button as well. Let's see. Let's see. Stormy really disappointed me with her correlating that she went through minor. Correlating what she went through as being a mirror, or is that what you're trying to say, as what Martell went through? So if you guys missed the episode, Stormy said that she was also charged with harassing communications. And she said it was the same exact charge that Martell was given, harassing communications. A lot of you heard Melody explain it at the podcast, that it was a picture that he had initially sent to her, right? In 2022. She has already shared this. Y'all can go back and listen to it. It's on Carlos King's page. Melody said she sent it to me. I saw it. I just basically let it fall. They were in going back and forth with it, and she said she just let it go. She didn't think two things about it until she had heard the girlfriend, AC, on an audio tape where she is talking about seeing a video that Melody had made with Martell, and Martell asking that that video be distributed, right? And Melody said after that, she was like, I'm tired of being picked on. I'm tired of, like, just leave me the fuck alone, basically. In so many words, she said, I'm just tired of it. So at that point, she said, she had made a decision to go down to the police department. I think she said something like she called her makeup artist, maybe. I feel like that's what she said. I called my makeup artist and asked her to please go with me so that I didn't back out of it. And then she even said made the comment that her brother said, if he would have apologized, you probably wouldn't have taken down there. Like, it took a lot for her. She was basically letting people know, it's the father of my child. I still had some reservations, but at the same time, I had to let him know that I was serious about the shit he's doing, thinking that I should get over it. And, he thinks that he can just keep doing it, him and her. I'm tired. So at this point, I'm going to go down to the police station and let him know, stop fucking with me. Okay? That's how I heard it. Y'all can tell me how y'all heard it in the comments, okay? But at the end of the day, she said she was done. She was done of giving him passes. Okay. And when they saw it, they looked at the picture. You see, he sent you this. He did. This is the threat. You keep it up, whatever he said. Okay. Well, this is enough for us to pull a warrant. And that's what happened. And now people are asking that, and we haven't heard, at least I haven't heard. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Let me read this. What's going on, baby? My last. Okay. What I heard her say, when I heard her say that, I thought there's a lot of people who have to catch up to where Mel is. Okay. Because Mel had a different change of heart, which is great. I'm not saying that she shouldn't have had. At some point, for a lot of us watching the show, we were watching a show thinking, Melody, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like there's a lot of things happening to you, and maybe you're not taking it in the same way, which is great. Maybe you feel like, that shit is over there and I'm not paying attention to what's happening on social media. But for a lot of people that were watching the social media part and the TV show part, they might have gotten really tired and thought, I want to see more action. Whereas there may be other people on the show who are friends with Mel or associates of Mel and Martell, who may be not where Melody is in her space. And this happens with friends all the time. Even though I know there's a lot of people who don't think so. There are a lot of times when friendships happen. They bump heads like this. This person is doing some shit to me. You need to pick a side. I'm tired of what this motherfucker's doing. This happens all the time. This is very normal. This is very a part of life. I told y'all a story that happened to me where I was friends with a couple, and one party was like, listen, I don't know. There's things about this situation I can't trust. And we stopped being friends for a little while. And then when she was able to figure things out, sort it out for herself, she came back and said, I want to apologize to you. I knew that you were a true friend to me, but I just needed that space. And I thank you for giving me that space. Melody said the same thing about Nell Fletcher very early. She said, I backed away from that friendship and Nell gave me that space. And later, she said, I came back and said, and I don't know if it's true or false, child. I can't really say. A lot of people are saying, so sorry to Joy Espic. And I want to say sorry too. I was reading it, but I think I came in on the last part of it. And I'm sorry, but it looks like you were sharing a loss of yours, and I am sorry as well. I don't want to let that pass up. But anyway, sometimes people have to figure it out. And at the beginning of this season, Melody has a sleepover with some friends who are basically saying that to her. You're going to have to make people choose. Stop putting yourself in spaces that you don't trust, that you're uncomfortable with. And Melody has started off the season with that. And then it looks like we're about to move into something else where she's going to start asking people to hold people accountable. And we'll see what that look like, okay? Can we talk about the real agenda that's going on in the show? Stormy, Dusty, Martell. It seems like three girls came on this season with one mind, and that is to smear Melody and the Mellometers. Why don't you talk about it, Miss Layla? This is what the this is what the this is what the link is for. I would like for y'all to talk about it because I don't think I'm going to explain it the way you want to explain it. I try to look at everything, child. Y'all have, some of you feel very strongly, and I know I'm not going to get them feelings out. So if you have some opinions, drop it in the chat, or more importantly, come up and talk about it. Okay, all of y'all, anybody who feels the way you feel, this is what the late show is for you to come up and chit chat about it. But it didn't take them that long to make a decision about Destiny Moses. It was girl code, but with Mel, they're not taking it serious. Okay. Okay. And I would say, I'm just putting it out there, up until the time Melody went to the courthouse, because she did hold it for a little while, maybe they were thinking, as Marceau said, we didn't know what the hell happened, because when it happened in 2022, it didn't feel serious for you then. So we wanted to stay out of it. So people may be saying it that way, but it doesn't mean that the hurt isn't there or the feelings isn't there. That's when you come up and you thank you, historian. Welcome to the platform, honey. Can you hear me?
I can. I'm getting an echo.
Okay.
Do I need to mute something?
If you have my voice playing on any device, cut it off so that you can just hear me talk to you here. Are you able to just talk to me without the device running? Okay. So anyway, that is how I heard it. Okay.
All right. You can hear me, right?
Perfectly.
All right. I'm usually in the bushes. I enjoy your show. And I just wanted to pick a bone with Sonny and Moses.
Your bone, boo. Pick your bone.
I'm from the Loop. I live in the Loop. I'm familiar with the Walnut Park area. Where
Okay.
I grew up was not far from Walnut Park. Now, um, even though that area is have some issues, is no different than anywhere else. I don't like a blanket diss for North City because all of North St. Louis is not the same. And I take issue with that because I take pride in my city.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he wants to go do better, that's fine. Just say that you're looking for a different environment, but don't compare us to Detroit or Baltimore or look at us like we are the worst city to live in, because St. Louis is very affordable to live in. It is a good place to raise a family.
Mhm.
And they are doing some positive things in St. Louis to build it up.
Mhm.
Um, and if you don't like North St. Louis, move to the county. I live in North County.
Okay.
So I take issue with that. And then him telling, um, about his past when Maurice was um, questioning him about his time away, I'll put it that way. That's, a little over 25% of his time. How you gonna diss a city and you were doing something that landed you in the pokey? And so,
For 15 years.
right. Like miss me with that and stop crapping on the city that you were birthed in. I live here and I take issue with that. And just say you want to move to Huntsville. You don't have to tear your city down on your way out the door. And the reason we ain't seen you, or you probably couldn't leave, is because you had the court's jewelry on. So
There you go. There you go. And I listen, I lived in St. Louis for a number of years, honey. So and I miss the food all the time. All the time. I really you until you move someplace else and you realize you cannot get decent carry out, you have no idea. But
exactly.
every point you made is accurate. I owned a home in St. Louis City. And yeah, I had no problems. Had no problems. So I understand. Welcome, DH Sobers. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
good.
What's up? What's your thoughts on today?
My thoughts. I left a comment about being disappointed in Stormy with
Okay.
her trying to correlate her issue and Martell's issue as being the same.
Okay.
That was extremely disappointing as a woman, especially because, as you pointed out, Stormy was at the podcast. So
Mhm.
Stormy knows the details.
Mhm.
Stormy also once told Melody that Martell was keeping tabs on her because Courtney had told Stormy that. And
Oh,
Stormy relayed that message to um, Melody. So the way she's moving is so disappointing. Her and Melody had a good sit down, um, and she's taking it back to Martell and trying to brandish it as something that it wasn't. It was just very, very disappointing and confusing
okay.
because I didn't understand her angle. And then as far as the Millimeters being a primary castmate this season, it seems very weird. It's as if what they're complaining about with Melody's fans, they're turning around and doing the same thing to Melody. And it's
Okay.
so weird. And I'm sitting here like, why are they allowing this? Well,
Mhm.
why are they allowing this? Why are they allowing all of these grown adult males also? Because first it was Marceau, now it's Martell, and I'm pretty sure Maurice is probably going to have a scene too, because we know what currently is going on. They're allowing them to, dump on this woman. It's weird. I don't understand who they think they're going to draw in. Um, I understand maybe one conversation about it, but to have it every episode and to continuously bring it up, it's very, very strange. It's extremely strange. And for the primary audience to be black, educated black females, I'm not sure where
So
they expect
do
it
you
to
feel
go.
that do you feel that Stormy should not bring up her experience with being um arrested? Do you think that
No, she can definitely bring it up. That was her experience. But to
you
say,
just
guess
don't
what,
want her to
Martell?
have the
I
millimeters?
Yeah,
Okay.
guess what? I was arrested for the same thing you was arrested for. Like, what was that about? It was so I was like, what is she doing?
Did she say the same charge or did she say it was the same
Yes,
thing?
I got arrested for the same thing you got arrested for.
Okay.
Harassing communication. And with her knowing the history, for her to play it down like that as
Mhm.
a woman, and for her to always come to social media and be crying about bullying and people making fun of me, I was like, this is very strange of her. Very, very strange of her. It's like she throws rocks and then wants to hide her hand. And
Okay.
then when the fans point it out, she wants to act oblivious. It's
Okay.
it was very, very strange. And I was, as a woman, I just felt really, really disappointed in her for taking that angle. She's definitely free to talk about what she has been through,
Okay.
because I can understand it being traumatic for her. But to dumb down what Martell did to Melody is where it hit a sore spot for me.
Okay. Understood. Understood. Hi, Miss Venus.
Hey,
Venus.
Diana.
Child, did I bring you up from under the blankets?
I'm just here to stand guard just in case anybody's feeling
Hold on, hold
froggy.
on. I can't hear you at all. Your audio is kind of muffled. Hold on.
What about now?
Now you sound better. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
I just said I'm here to stand guard in
You're here to
case
sing.
anybody's feeling froggy. I just want to be right here ready to go. Okay.
Ah, okay. Okay. Do you have any thoughts on what happened with the show, though? Do you have any thoughts on what happened with tonight's episode? Did you watch it
No, this is the first. I did black out for the first time
for the
today.
first time today? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I understand. Let's see. Stormy was very messy in that episode, and she's going to regret it, which is probably why she did that live hinting that she is leaving the show. Okay, interesting. Stormy is foul AF. She is incredibly disappointing. Wow. All right, no Stormy supporters. Stormy is portraying Dusty Dan behavior. What? Dusty Dan behavior when it comes to hotel. Okay. All right. So listen, this is still a part of the storyline. From what I'm understanding, child, this is where all these things come to a head. This is going to be the conversation that Melody is going to have with the ladies. Like, why aren't you taking what I have experienced with this man seriously? And we're going to see how it plays out and what people have to say. Happy the world knows Kiki Jabbar. Kiki's loving heart took her cousin who lived in the town's local projects under her wing and introduced her to the idea of attending college for a better life. Ooh, child, even in times of mourning, we do not miss an opportunity to slang a little mud, child. That is great. Diana, the poll is blocking the chat. Okay, let me close up this poll. Sorry about that, y'all. So let me see. I asked you guys a question about Kiki, or not Kiki, Kenya. Sorry, too many Ks. I asked you a question about Kenya and asked if her brand was Sally, that it looks like she's lost her deal due to the revenge P. And if you thought that it was okay, that was fine. 21% of you said yes. Enough information is on social media for uh, Sally to have made a firm decision. 61% of you said no, Kenya should take legal action. And 18% of you said, what did you miss? So right now I am ending the poll. 394 of you took it. And that is it. So if you guys want to talk about Kenya more, you are welcome to do so where she is right now, because I know that she is, you lose a $2 million income, one that you made every, 3 months? That could be a big deal. Okay. What's up, GGH? How are you? Welcome to the chat.
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Good.
Um, so I'm glad
Hey,
you brought that up.
Kiki.
Hey, hey, I have okay. So I think somebody just touched on something I said about Stormy. What Stormy said to Martell was very reckless, and it was
Okay.
very insensitive because she
Okay.
was at the podcast, and for her to kind of say, "Oh, I got arrested for the same thing," it was to me making it look like, see, he didn't really do anything because I got charged for the same thing, and I think that was reckless of her. And somebody also said what I said. I think that's why she came out with that statement the other day because she knew this was going to be said. The,
Hmm.
um, I think she tried to get in front of it, to try, because she knew that this was going to be said. And for her to say, "Oh, I care about women" and stuff like that, that was very insensitive for her to say. The whole millimeter thing, it seems forced, because she said a millimeter, and then Martell comes out and said she created them and she named them. We all know she did not create them. She did name them, but she did not create them. Um,
Okay.
her fan base, and I thought, okay, see, this
I
is
don't even
why.
think she named him. I think someone submitted a name. And
Oh,
Yeah,
she,
I
I was
thought she
about to
named
say
him.
that too.
Okay, maybe. Okay, my bad. Let me take that back. I remember
Right.
her saying, you know what? Well, I thought she named them. But so let me look. Let me roll that back. But anyway, for him to say that, and he said that she created them, and this is what she do. Uh, in my mind, I was thinking the Arion of it all that you created. I'm just saying. Uh,
uh,
and
uh-huh.
then so in Kenya, you know, to me, that Sally took this action, if this is true, to basically take to cancel Kenya. It's a double standard, because you see Martell is still working, Kenya is not. They're trying to take her stuff off the show, I mean out of the stores, and we don't physically know what happened. We just know what's speculated to happen and what everybody has said. But you got Martell over here living like it's fine. And we all know what he did and what he tried to do. And I just thought, that's a double standard. She's already lost her job, and now they're basically canceling her products. And I'm not a big fan of Kenya's, but at the same time, I do think it sucks that she's getting these swift actions. And I know it's because of Bravo as well. But I just think that, man, she's going through all of this, but Martell is not going through anything.
Well, I will also want to say we pointed back to what's going on OWN network, but you can point it to what's going on the Bravo network. They have 3 active revenge beat cases right now
Oh,
on their own network with major reality stars. Let's start there. And then also I want to point out that Brandy Glanville, is that her name, Brandy Glanville? She had made the comment that Bravo knew what was going on with Taylor. Taylor on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was being abused, physically abused by her husband. Okay. And then it became a storyline, and everybody on the show either said they witnessed it, she had called them and told them about it, that she was hiding bruises, things like that. And Bravo still filmed her, and not Bravo, yeah, Bravo still filmed her and her husband. And then I think the year after all of the information came out, her husband took his life, and all of that. And
Oh my God.
they continued with Taylor. They show Taylor with a new beau, a boyfriend and husband. So there are things I don't know about the contracts of reality TV. I really don't. But I do know that I did watch that season, and it was that's right. He unalived himself. It was a huge deal. Everybody was watching, and it didn't become a controversy, though. I will say that it did not become controversial in the sense that people were thank you, Dee. I appreciate that. It didn't become controversial in the sense that the fans of the show were asking for anything. People watch, and I have to assume because they were Caucasian and wealthy, that people just thought they were handling it. Nobody joined in to ask Bravo what was going on. To this very day, it's all those repeats. You can watch it. You can watch those repeats online. It's right there for everybody to see. But there is a lot that has gone on the other networks as well. I just don't know, including addiction and other things. When we're watching it play out on Bravo with what's her name, Kenya, it is weird to me that Kenya is being punished for things that others are doing or have done and is currently active on the show. Still, they have not released any of those players that are in those revenge P cases, just so you know. They put the show on hiatus because they said emotions were too high, but they did not say anything about firing anybody, letting anyone go. There has been no internal investigations, none of that. Now, the difference I would say would be that the incident that the people are suing over happened outside of the show, but they all three players are on that very show. Um, so similar to a Martell, it happened when they weren't filming and they brought it to the show. So with Vanderpump Rules, that would be the case. Hi, Simone.
Hi, sorry. It was some fireworks going off. I was trying to stay on mute. Um, I'm sorry. I don't know if you asked me a question. I was trying to put my
No, I
video
was
down.
explaining an incident that happened with a huge incident that happened with players on Bravo. I was explaining that right now Bravo has a hit show that makes well over, I think, 800,000 to over 1 million views an episode. And that is Vanderpump Rules. And three of their main stars on that show are in a revenge BP case. It is in court right now.
Mm. Yeah.
Bravo has not asked for an investigation. They have not asked for anybody to step down, or they haven't suspended anyone. They haven't done anything. What they did was they said that the emotions are too high and we're going to put the show on hiatus. That's what they said, but they did not make any other comment outside of that. Now, Kenya said that she is looking to do a lawsuit. At least that's the rumor. And my assumption would be is that she's going to point that out, because when someone pointed it out to her on social media, she actually put one of those wow emojis, like, are you serious? And yes, that is happening on on the same network that said we had to put this on hiatus and maybe ask you to step away,
Mm.
or suspend you, and then ask you to step away. You can't be a part of Sweet 16, but maybe there's an opportunity for you to come back.
It's a lot. And good evening, ladies. I'm sorry I was distracted when I first pushed the button. Um, I understand what Bravo's doing because of it's gone on so long in the past, and so now they're trying to create different, I guess, quote unquote, rules and mission statements for that they have to protect their brand, their shows, the people on those shows. So now things that they didn't enforce before, they're trying to enforce, and unfortunately, it looks like Kenya is part of the new era of them trying to, implement the rules that they've set forth. And she's just unfortunately a casualty of that. I do think it's disappointing with her possibly losing, or I don't know if it's for sure or not, the Sally's deal. I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out and how they treat the Vanderpump people, and how, if they're going to roll them back in, or after this court situation is complete, will it be mediation, will it go to a possible quote unquote trial? It's just, we're going to have to wait and see. But with own versus Bravo, I think obviously two different brands, two different networks, two different sets of executives, management, all of that. It with so much evidence, facts that have come forth in the situation with Martell and Melody, it's very difficult to swallow that they are just simply ignoring her and her abuse that she's gone through by the hands of him. And to me, it's just, they simply don't care. I mean, maybe it would have been the same if, say, Oprah was still in charge and had majority share. But to me, I think they simply do not care, and they're allowing the production company to, run amok and do what they want to do. Because in any 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 stretch of the imagination, Melody brings a lot to that show. Martell simply does not. And it's obvious that, he has the favor of the production, because it just makes no sense to continue to keep him on there and to take her real life abuse and try to minimize it. What Stormy did today was actually deplorable. That word that's been floating around all season. That was a slap in the face because I'm sure she knows people who have gone through that. She knows what Melody has gone through, but because of quote unquote, you know, her like or dislike, whatever, she's trying to be a producer now, whatever, trying to get ahead, whatever, she takes this moment to minimize that and to lift up this this abuser, and the way that they're trying to make it seem like he's just some single fun guy, and he really is not. He's a dangerous person, and the way they're minimizing this, allowing him to have filming time, still be on the show, it's a slap in the face to black women. And as a black woman, that's why I'm not watching anymore. I don't want to watch anything on OWN because they're allowing this. And I know, they hire the production company and it's separate and all that, but they're known. I know so many people have written to OWN, written to people, the powers that be, and they they simply just don't care. So it's disheartening. And tonight, I didn't look at the episode, but I saw clips of it. It's disgusting. It's actually disgusting. It really is infuriating to see that, to see him still on there. We know what Melody offers. We know she can draw attention, but to push her down and to make it seem as if she's just being vindictive and bitter, and it's just disgusting. So I'm sorry, I probably rambled too much. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Can I say something?
You ate and left no crumbs.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Whoever said they would like to speak can speak.
Two things. The first thing about Kenya, I agree with everyone said about Kenya, how the treatment is a little bit unfair. But for the life of me, I can't understand why she would take her grand opening of a business that she said she's struggling to fill, have people come and make appointments, because people will come and make appointments and then cancel. Do things like that just to be nosy. So she said she was having a hard time getting people into the place. I don't understand why she thought doing something, whatever was done, and putting the focus on anything but her and her business was a good idea. I don't understand that. And she's a smart girl. Kenya's not a dummy. So I don't know if she felt, like the new girls were taking over and she had to do something big. It was very, very odd, being the sole provider for her daughter, basically, and having so many things in the balance. It was just a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't expect much from home. So I don't even like at this point, with all of the nasty, vile, horrible things Martell has said and done, they've never once chastised him. Never once.
I'm losing your voice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
I can hear you now. Could you repeat it?
Yes, I said with I have no faith in OWN to do right because of all the nasty, horrible, vile things Martell has done and said. They've never once chastised him. They never. He tweeted Carlos and all these things, and never once has anything ever been done to him. But
Right.
somehow this season, Melody is the villain
Mm.
after everything Martell has done. But somehow this season, Melody is the villain. It doesn't make any sense. So Bravo is a bigger entity. They're backed by NBC, Universal, and Peacock, and all these things. So they're gonna try to do the right thing. Black men and black women are always made the example of,
Okay,
always.
repeat that again. You said that Bravo is going to try to do the right thing. Is that what you said?
Yes, I said Bravo is gonna try to do the right thing. I'm not saying they're correct. They're always gonna make a black man or black woman be the example. They'll always sacrifice the black talent. Especially when you go into places like that. At least with OWN, you can be a little ratchet and they'll hold on to you. But Bravo, moving into this new era, they're not going to allow it. I don't think Vanderpump Rules is going to come back. I really don't, me
Uh,
personally. Granted, I've never watched the show, but it's tainted. It's too dirty right now. I don't think
I
it'll
think
ever come back.
it's their number one show, and they're not gonna destroy it. They wouldn't take it off the air for good. They're bringing it back. The show, the reason why these shows exist is to make the network money. And if it's not making money, then it goes away. But if it's making money, we're going to take it off. We're going to tweak it. We're going to put band-aids where there need to be band-aids, and we're going to bring it back on the air. I think we give people way too much credit. There's a whole lot of stuff that's happened on Bravo that has been okay because the climate for such things isn't what it is now. I will say that. We all remember Apollo picking up a drill and coming
Hmm.
toward Phaedra, and nothing happened to him. I mean, he went to jail, but he's not taught it out. He's not made to be a horrible anything. He was sitting on the reunion stage for Married to Medicine, and nobody blinked an eye. I think that it's just there's a different tolerance level for some than there is for others.
Oh, absolutely.
Bravo definitely plays with fire, juggles right and wrong all of the time. And if they can get away with it, they'll do it. That's why they're in a class action lawsuit right now. That's exactly why they're in a class action lawsuit that's accusing them of everything from feeding the cast, drugs and alcohol, knowing that maybe there were certain cast members who had addictions and couldn't take it. They are charging, there's some that's charging them with revenge P. If anybody remembers our HOA, Cynthia Bailey's, was it her bridal shower? Did we forget that? When what's that stripper's name?
Bolo.
Bolo came to the show.
We
Mm.
ain't forget that.
And the girls on that, the ladies in that house said, can we please turn off the cameras? Do you guys have enough footage? Can you turn off those cameras? And the cameramen said yes. And
And
they
left them
thought that
on.
they were working, they thought that they were private, that they were doing things in private. And people showed up and put them cameras in the window and turned on audio and then played it during that episode. It was repulsive.
Mm.
It
Mm.
was repulsive what happened. It was dirty. It was low. It was as ugly as you can get. And those girls went around covering the cameras that they knew were in the ceiling and taking off audio, expecting privacy. And not one of them sued. And every one of them should have. Every single one of them. Instead, they made it a storyline and they had them play little games with each other. How do we know that those ladies were the ones that were involved could have handled it? That one left the show, the one that was engaged,
Tanya.
Tanya, she left the show
Hmm.
that day when she found out what happened.
Yeah, it's tough,
They
but
tried to put their foot on Portia's neck, and they had everybody teasing her. What were you doing? Blah blah blah. Oh, I left. That was disgusting. We give Bravo way too much. We
yeah,
really
I
do.
agree. I agree with you. But
I
they
agree
still
too.
every year come back and sign a contract to get back on.
And they
And
come
so,
everybody that they're not the only ones though. Let's think about that.
right. So if you don't think of yourself, I don't expect a TV network to be thinking of you in that.
Exactly.
I'm not saying Bravo is right.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that at all. But at some point, you have to stand up for yourself. Like the one young lady who left and said, I'm above this, she did the right thing. If they would have all banded together, and like Nene had wanted them to do at one point, it would be a different situation. But everyone is back on Bravo. Cynthia's back on Bravo. Portia's back on Bravo. Phaedra's back on Bravo. Everybody's back on Bravo.
You're
So
right.
Bravo doesn't see a reason to correct what they're doing.
Hey
Mm.
Diana,
Hi.
do you remember? And I know you remember because you did it. Do you remember? I don't know how long ago when you had the guys, you had some guys come on and you were talking about they were talking about the contracts and stuff like that being made before these people had gone on these YouTube shows. Do you remember that?
I remember the guys panel, but I don't remember that specific top
Well,
that part of the conversation. Remind me.
Well, one of the parts of the conversation is one of the gentlemen, I don't remember which one it was. He had said that he wished that he could be in the room when these contracts are being made. So,
Uh-huh. Oh, I lost you.
hello?
Can you hear me?
I can, yeah. I
Okay.
have this annoying call from work that keeps calling every now and then. But he
So we
he was
gotta
saying that
yeah, if he
he
could
wished
be in
that,
the
yeah,
room.
he wished that he could be in the room when contracts are made. And he said more than that, but that specific statement stayed with me about reality shows, be it men or women. And my husband and I had a conversation after that. I do wish that somebody that they will have legal, and I don't know if they don't have legal representation in these contracts, so they can say, do you know how this is going to make you look? Don't do this, this is not right, don't sign on this. All money, I mean, I know everybody, all money is
Why
not
do
good
you think
money.
that
And
they don't have legal representation? Why do you think that?
no, I said I don't know if they don't. I said
Oh,
I don't know if they did, but I wish that somebody could take a longer look at the fine print, or maybe they should take a long look at the fine print, because
you know what
some
though?
of this stuff,
I think that they do have legal representation. I know that that was one of the things Monique was talking about when she got her contract, and she said it just the numbers didn't play for me and I didn't want to do it. But I think that the majority of people at this stage know what reality TV is and why it is. I don't think that reality TV is supposed to make people look like roses. I think that it's supposed to deal with real life issues, excuse me, and sometimes it's not going to be pretty, but when it's all said and done for a lot of them, they can move on and do what they want to do if they're building brands and things like that. Not everybody has not everybody thinks about it like, how do I build my brand, right?
yeah.
We know that Mel has a brand and she's been building it since the day she came onto the show, literally. She might have renamed her skincare line, but she's been building her brand since she came on. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. Whether we like it or not, Marceau has also built a brand on the show with his
Mm-hmm.
companies and his bar.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Stormy came on with a brand. She's right about that. She didn't put anything else out there. Just recently, when Kimmy announced what she was doing, she asked that that be deleted. She didn't want her home or whatever the restaurant. She didn't want that announced. She didn't want that announced, maybe because of things that she has going on. But at the end of the day, I would say that Love and Marriage Huntsville, in a way that no other reality TV show has done, they walked on with brands and they were
They
selling.
did.
They walked on with brands and they were selling them, and that's a little different. That's a little different from the other shows. It doesn't mean that everybody who walks on with the brand is going to win or, you know, turn it into something. Sometimes it just doesn't pan out for them and they'll think of something else. But it is what it is. I think that they know at the end of the day, these things are going to happen in my life, whether they're on TV or not. And I'm going to live it on TV. And you're not even, think about it also. We don't get everything that's going on in these people's lives. We get a small pinch of what they want to tell us as a story. And it's things they've already dealt with or lived through. Melody already put the charges on Martell. We didn't see her go to the courthouse and talk to the magistrate. When we got it, it was the aftermath of what happened, right?
Yeah.
When they went to film, we were watching the aftermath of that. And a lot of the time that's what it is. We're watching this has already happened, and now we're looking at how they're dealing with it in the aftermath of those decisions. And so not everybody likes the storyline, and that's okay. I think they go in knowing that maybe not everyone will like the storyline, but also I think those storylines help people, and I think they have
That,
helped people.
Diana, I mean, I have a quick question. So, are you and
Yes.
Clone still? You and your sister? Are you still guys are gonna still do go back and do this the episode?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I just like the whole banter between both of y'all. I just want to make sure that was still gonna happen.
No, yes, absolutely. Just a couple of things that I learned. Yes, me and my sister will be doing these reviews all child, and we got some more reviews coming. We literally was talking today, so we'll get all of those up as fast as we can. But one of the things I want to say about this season, because I know a lot of people feel bad about what's going on in the season because of the millimeters. Number one, I did not know that the charges that Martell went up for was considered domestic violence. That I did not know that. That was news to me. And so
Oh, I
I was
did.
I did not, and it could just be that that hasn't, that wasn't something that's crossed my path. But watching it on TV, I educated myself on it. I talked to a lawyer about it just to find out stuff so I can bring to you guys. So there was things I did not know, and I was like, wow, I was shocked in finding it out. Okay, and was able to bring it to you guys and y'all. And I know a lot of y'all did know. You know what I'm saying? But it's those kind of things that is good conversation because there is a young lady who may be married or divorced or just dating someone who is going through something similar. And now she can go on down to the police station or wherever she needs to go to get the help she needs, if that is the case. And I think that we forget about that. We forget about who it's helping. We only think about how embarrassing it is. It helps people. It's testimony that helps sometimes.
But Diana, here's the thing though. This is where I think the production is poor and is not doing a good job. Now, I didn't look at tonight's episode, but I know in episodes in the past, this season and last season, I think some of DV information was brought up. They don't, or they're not responsible enough to put the national DV hotline number website.
They absolutely did, Simone.
They did tonight. Okay. Okay.
Well, they put that number up when the conversation first came up. Tonight they put up their condolences for Kiki Jabbar.
Oh, oh, good, good. That's good. That's good. Well, in the past, I forgot it was maybe at the beginning of the season or last season when some things came up. I forgot what it. Oh, Kiki. Speaking about her past issues, they at that time they didn't put up anything in regards to a number to call for people who might be needing help, needing to get into rehab, anything responsible like that. They didn't do that last season. Now I'm glad to hear. Now I haven't watched it, so hey, I got to give it that. But last season, when really they should have been doing it every time she spoke on that and the testing and all of the things that they were accusing her still being on that, they should have done that then. I think with reality TV being out here for what the last 25, 30 years, it's kind of come full circle. Back in the day, we, didn't have privy to information that we can find out if it's true or not. We just believe what they were saying on TV. Everything is not like it was back then. So now with us being able to find out if they're actually telling the truth or lying, it kind of makes us look different. Now, there are some people who just look at the show and don't look at YouTube or any other social media about it. So for those people, it's fine. But if you know more out there, the truth that is factual evidence, proof that, what they're saying is a total complete lie, it makes you look at it a little bit different. And I think, and that, the small stuff, okay, it is what it is. But the DV situation and how they're, trying to make it seem like she's some sort of bitter, vindictive person, that's not funny. It's not cute. It's not helping, because a lot of women in situations have to go through that, talking to friends and family, to prove that, okay, this person is doing something to me. It's hard. I had a conversation this week with a coworker. Her daughter's going through something very similar, and they don't want to make any police reports. They don't want to do any of that because they don't want to make the person mad so they can come after them more. And, it's so many levels, so many things to think about in these situations, and for Stormy to sit up there to make it seem like her and Martell just on the same path of of getting charged with these things, make it light like it's nothing. It's just irresponsible. It's very irresponsible. So it's hard to look at this as entertainment.
Mhm. Okay. I think unfortunately for Love and Marriage Huntsville, their what's the word I'm looking for? This show has always ran heavy from the day it started. I know people keep saying it was about business. It was not, never about business. It was about Melody and Martell getting divorced. From the first episode, it was about Melody and Martell and their relationship, and then it became about everybody's relationship. And then it was can a friendship group that was already broken because they came on broken, can it get back together? Hold on.
But Diana, they did sell it to us originally as business and, love, friendship. They did.
That
That
you're
came out the
talking about,
snake's
I
mouth.
think, the little blurb. Are you talking about as a description?
Yeah, when they first came out, that's the way
Okay.
the Snake producer introduced it to us as, people who are, have these wonderful businesses and making a lot of money and their friendships and marriage. It was business was the forefront. We were looking at what type of work they were doing, are they in insurance or if they're in home building. That's how he sold it. Because I can't pinpoint, it's been years now, but you know how he loves to come out and promote his shows. And at that time, I remember him saying that this is, these Black professionals and, we're going to look into their businesses and how they,
I think
earn
they're
their
Black
wealth.
professionals for sure. They're still Black professionals. It's just that the storyline was always about their relationships as friends and their relationship as married couples. I don't think that they were saying, in my opinion, I don't know. Everybody feels differently. In my opinion, I didn't expect to watch a primetime show that was going to show me.
Uh-oh.
Excuse me. I didn't watch the primetime show thinking that I was going to be given any type of guide on their business. I thought it was more, I'm just watching relationships and that these people were young, beautiful families who, were out here trying to make it first generation wealth, um, trying to leave legacy for their family. That I saw. I saw in, also with the problems, but I didn't look at it as a show that was going to show me business. So when I hear people say, "Let's get back to business," I'm always thinking, "What business are you trying to see? What business are you trying to see exactly?" Because the show is about the relationships. Even
Well, they showed that with Melody and Martell. That was it. Now the others, you know, we don't see much. I mean, I know we can. Well, let me not say that. It's just I don't know. To me, I feel like they were legitimate. The other and Kimmy was legitimate. Everything else, I question.
and
That's just me. I'm sorry. It's just I question. You
yeah,
know,
because by the time we get to season 2, Martell is in bankruptcy. He sits at the table with Mel and they dissolve all of their businesses. Her first question to him is what's going on with the land? And he says, everything is on hold. Everything has to be held. And she said, I'm sorry to hear that. And then she goes through and says, dissolved, 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 dissolved. Like every time I think of that scene, I'm like, where the hell were
That's
y'all?
my favorite episode
What y'all
ever.
girl said dissolved to every damn thing. There is
Oh
no
my God.
business here. Okay.
that was a
Oh
good
my
scene.
God.
Everything
That was
has
a
been
lovely
dissolved.
scene.
That was Emmy worthy. It was so good.
Yes. So when she says dissolve, dissolve, dissolve to everything, that was the moment where we were supposed to say, all right, baby, this is it. There's no more business between these two anyway.
Right.
See her rebuilding. We see her rebuilding, which within itself, that was actually show worthy. That was show worthy. Martell being in a low spot because not everybody builds himself up after some shit like that. That is also show worthy, I thought. But yeah, in the comeback group, yes, there was a comeback. We remember the comeback group, but the reason it was when they came on, they were a comeback group that they literally begged Mel. Because Mel called initially
Hmm.
and said, let's get it back together. And Martell was the one holding out. I don't think we should do it. This isn't going to work well. Let's not, let's think about it another way. And Mel said, no, let's get it done. She calls everybody together. Everybody says yes. And then when she said, you know what, I'm going through a divorce, maybe we can all come in individually, not as a group, but just kind of give our expertise individually. And everybody was looking at her like, no, that's not what we want to do. And they tried to get her back on board. And she said, no. She said, y'all can do it without me.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes, he even said, I want 50% of that skincare business. And she said, that's dissolved too. Everything he said, I know you out your damn mind. And I think she was willing to give him like 25, 35, maybe
15%.
15%. She was willing to
Hmm.
give him 15%. And he said, I want 50% of that. And she said, goodbye, bitch. Okay. Not today. Not today, you won't get it. That was the show. So every time I hear people say that, I'm like, where were y'all when one of the best episodes ever was the It's Dissolved episode? Child, bye. There's no more business.
Well, and I agree that those were excellent scenes, we don't always have to see, the flourishing of businesses. We can show the some of the failures and the successes. It's just, to me, I think they focus on so much stuff that really just, I don't know. To me, it's like you have all of these subjects that you can, actual real subjects you can hit on, and make them, a little bit colorful, whatever, and create, some things around them. But you focus on the BS, the made up, manufactured BS. So it's just kind of, I don't know. It's disappointing. It's very disappointing. And the DV thing, I just, I can't. I don't play with that. I don't like that at all.
I
Yeah.
will say, if I can, that tonight, this is one of the first times Maurice opened up. I didn't know that their father went to jail.
Amen, sis.
Oh
I
wait
didn't
a
know
minute,
that.
fill me in now.
I did
Fill
not
me
know that
I
either,
didn't know that.
child.
So, and how they were living good until their father went to jail. So that kind of explains some of their work ethic.
in.
Listen,
It
Yes.
kind of explains why Maurice and Marceau worked so hard, work to provide a good life for their families, is because of that trauma of having it all together. And then one day you don't have anything. And then when he was talking about how many of his friends he's lost to violence, I thought
Yes.
that was so good. I was
PH
like, where was this conversation 2 seasons ago?
quiet as it's kept, I said the same thing. I said, uh-oh, this was the first time we learned something new,
You,
because when the father had came on, if not last season, the season before, I remember saying, why do they act? I remember saying the father is speaking of memories that these two, your sons, is not sharing in. When they're
right.
saying this happened to us, the father was sitting there smoking a cigar, like he has a whole different. Nah, y'all never suffered. And I'm like, well, damn, what did they lie about it? Because they said they were sleeping on floors in churches.
Hmm.
We're making it seem like something else. Him saying that his father went to jail is saying a mouthful,
People, yep.
child.
But
And
see,
I can talk
that
about it
makes
tomorrow.
sense now. That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, and the whole other side of the tracks comment now makes sense too. It
Yep.
makes sense.
Yep. You ain't lying.
Now,
So I'll
now
I'll
that's
give
the
the
real
Scots
story.
that.
That's. I'm sorry.
I'll give the Scots that. If they're gonna open up like that, that I thought that was a great story. I even felt something for Maurice when he was talking about it um in
So
that
did
moment.
I.
It was good. The scene with Maurice Kimmy and Sonny, excuse
It
me,
was a
Sonny and
very
Moses
good scene.
was
And
actually like revelations.
and
Okay.
I know that the other caller was upset at Moses for downplaying St. Louis, but I feel like for him, it's probably a lot of trauma attached to St. Louis because he said he was raised by his grandmother. So what happened to his parents? You know,
Mm.
so I understand people being upset, but that's probably his personal experience. And even though other people may have great experiences with St. Louis or the part that he's from. If I'm not mistaken, he's in his 40s. So if we've seen gentrification throughout what a city was 20 years ago, it's not what it is today. So his experience with St. Louis could
Was
be
from back
one
in the
where,
day.
yeah, where he's like, I don't want to raise my family here because I say my mom, I don't know what the story is, but however, he ended up being raised by his grandmother. And I did hear Destiny say he had to drop out of high school to help take care of his family. So
Yep,
that's
in
his
the fifth
relationship
grade.
with St. Louis.
yep, yep. You're
Well,
right.
Diana, when are you and your sister gonna do the recap so I can get the? I'm on Team Blackout, so I want to hear the deets.
We talk about it tomorrow at 1:30. Tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern. Bye, Bad Apple.
Hey Diana, hey panel. How y'all doing tonight?
Oh,
Come on
Good.
through, child. What I'm happy you're up. What you got to say about all the topics?
Hey there, Bad
Well,
Apple.
I didn't. Hey there. I did not watch tonight. I'm, after the recent developments with Kiki, I really am done with the show because I feel like um, Kiki was punished
Ooh,
worse than. Well, I said worse, but Martell hasn't been punished for anything that he's done. And Kiki was, I feel like, punished for some minor stuff. I really don't feel like that water that she threw on Tisha was that big of a deal. I'm sorry, I just don't. And yeah, I know she talked to some people off camera or whatever, but Martell has done worse. Martell has he has, sent info to bloggers. He's put out his paramour to bloggers. Like he's done way, 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 way more horrible things. And I feel like, the show had smoke for Kiki. And when I say the show, I'm talking about the entire establishment of the show, not just the cast, but just the show in general. And they have absolutely no smoke for Martell. I'm done watching it or even really supporting it. And I
mhm.
feel like um, what I wanted to say earlier is that, and I did say it in the comments, that they sold us on Black excellence and we haven't seen it. The only time we've seen it is, you know, Melody coming out of her marriage and, creating her own empire. We saw it a little bit. We've seen, I guess, a little bit of the Fletchers being Black excellence, and Stormy is a whole other animal because she has some Black excellence about her, but she diminishes it with her shenanigans.
Really?
So I don't know, but they lied to us about this cast, or maybe I don't maybe particularly the Scots lied to them about who they really are. But we don't get to see any Black excellence really because they don't show us what Mel has accomplished. They don't really show anybody else's, you know, doing excellent things because there's not really a whole lot that
Ask
they're
you a question.
doing.
How do you want to see what Mel has accomplished? Because I feel like Mel coming from out of a bad marriage and pretty much sharing that she's rebuilding everything from scratch. She said that on the show a couple of times. And then showing where she is now. I mean, at the beginning of the season, of this season, Mel has her slumber party. She has her products everywhere. Seventh Avenue here. She got everything. She's giving people gift bags. She's letting us see her products and things. What do you want to happen differently? Tell me, explain that part.
You mean she's showing her products on the show?
Yeah.
You didn't see her products on the show this season?
Hmm.
She showed her
I
products in the
guess maybe I overlooked it. I don't know.
It
sometimes
was very brief, Diana, though. It was brief to
it
me. I'm
was
sorry.
the entire scene. It was the entire scene.
Yeah, but she has multiple businesses outside of skincare. They can. I know they touched on property preservation last season, but that they can touch on the things that she's doing with Jay Bolin. It's so many different, multiple things that they can touch on that they ignore, but they promote the BS with the Scots. To me, she's multifaceted. That and to me, they're just putting a little bit out there,
I
just a
think
little
maybe
bit.
they need to do a separate show. I think they have the show that we have now, which is a drama, but you guys would like to see a show where they are walking you through their businesses and stuff, or maybe their business day. And I think that that would be a separate show because that's not really engaging everybody
Not
else.
even that though. Not even that though, Diana. We don't get to see any of the fruits of excellence. We don't get to
Exactly.
see these people.
Explain
Exactly.
to me what, because I see the show differently than y'all see it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I
because at
see
this
the fruits.
point, why y'all expecting excellence? I
When
mean, no shade, no
you know,
disrespect.
when you start a show off and they
Yeah,
have a what do you call those damn things that they fly with a remote?
the drones.
A drone.
A
A
drone
drone.
go over somebody's house so you can see the full span of somebody's property. That's you showing me excellence. When you are saying talking to the head of security and he telling you I got a man on the street, one on the corner, one behind the house, that's you showing me excellence. Not everybody gets to do that. So when I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh shit, Melda went from Madeline went from, trying to figure out where the kids' beds are going to be to having a drone flown over her head. And it is very similar because I do watch the other shows. That is how they portray the other cast members on Bravo when they want to show wealth. They will put
Hmm.
a drone over your
But
estate.
look at the
Yeah, but they
circumstances
can
in which
only do
they're
that
doing
with
it for.
Mel and Stormy.
Well, that's enough. That's enough for me. I'm okay with them doing it just with Mel and Stormy. This is first generational wealth, y'all. This isn't five generations. This is first generational wealth. This is what it looks like.
But the
Yeah,
rollout, I
I
don't
see
think that's
first
there.
generational wealth with Mel and Stormy. I don't see no wealth from the Scots at all.
Okay.
They don't look wealthy to me at all. They don't look like they have too much of anything. I'm sorry. They
No,
don't.
they don't. They don't.
Look, somebody
The
says
the
some of your
Scots,
decisions are not big enough. Are you talking about me, Candy? I thought when I saw Mel's house from the sky, I was like, bitch, you gotta be kidding. I was cracking up. I was cracking up because I said, this is what they are showing you that she has it like that without saying that. That's why y'all gotta listen to our reviews, damn it. Because I be trying to point out the
I
stuff.
listen. You do.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
they
I think
look
I
how rarely
I
they
think
ever
with the
do that,
Scots.
Diana. The
Oh,
reason why you're only going to get that aerial of Mel's house maybe once or twice a season is because none of the other cast members have it like that, except for Stormy.
I mean,
But
Storm's house is huge. I mean, the property alone, just watching her
yeah,
walk down to the horses.
but they can't embarrass the rest of the cast like that. So they don't. They only do it every now and then. I just
I,
feel
I
like we were sold a lemon. They did the bait and switch on us, and I'm
Okay,
done with the lemon. I'm sorry.
I hear you.
even
I
even with the Scots. Ugh, okay, this is kind of. I'm gonna say this. I agree with you, Good Bad Apple. We were kind of sold a lemon, but even with the Scots, and from what I see of Marceau just on social media, I see he's trying to put his to me, I see him trying to maybe put more out and and show more of what he's doing. I'm a fan of Marceau's. I ain't a fan of Tisha's, but I am a fan of Marceau's
I'm a fan of
without
Marcel
the
too.
cheating part, because my daughter was like, "You're a fan of cheater." I don't know about all that part. I am a fan of his, but at the same time, I do see him showing effort of what he got going on and what he's doing. And he even came out one time and talked about his failures, and people still attacked him. But at the same time, I was like, even if five people believe you, keep showing what you're doing, because in business, you don't always have successes without failures. So I do think that they're trying to, just like Diana said earlier, they're all showing their brand and what they're trying to put out and stuff like that. So I do think the Scots are trying to, I think that they're trying to get back to business. And even Mel said on the podcast, I'm ready for us to get back to business. So she's saying the same thing, that she wants them to get back to business. There's going to be drama, because if it wasn't any drama, we wouldn't watch.
There's no
But
show.
I think,
Exactly.
yeah, it's no show. So I think she's trying to get back to business about what's going on. And me personally, the reason why I think we see so much of Stormy this season, this part or whatever, and not enough of the cast, I think, to me, this is me, how I feel about it. I think they're all trying to find a way of how to put Martell. Because truth be told, I don't think the core five want to deal with him either, because you haven't seen him with the core five.
We haven't.
And I
We
think
haven't seen him.
you have not. So I
So
think that that's what they're trying to do, is to figure out, because what to do with him, because I don't think that they want to be bothered with him as well.
you probably
Well, Gigi, I'm glad you mentioned those five people, because I'm not one of them. I don't believe anything he says. I believe he be at other people's work site and standing there with his phone, pretending that he's at work. For real, I don't believe that's him working. I'm sorry.
Because
I just don't.
those fraud cases those real fraud cases that are in court prove that he is a shyster.
Right.
If you listen to his court, when they what's it called, I can't think of, it's on the tip of my tongue. When the opposing attorney is asking questions, interrogatories, the way he answered those, he is a shyster from his heart. Okay, now knowing that his daddy was in prison, he get it from his daddy. He is a
Oh,
shyster. He is a
Wait, who
shyster.
daddy was in prison? I missed that part. Whose father
Didn't
was
he?
in
the
prison?
Didn't y'all
Scott,
just tell me his daddy?
Papa Scott.
Papa
Yeah,
Scott.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know
yeah,
his father was in prison.
he's a
They
shyster.
revealed it today.
Nothing about him. Anyone who listens to him, don't listen to. He is the reason why general contractors have a bad name. He is a good example of why they don't like us when it comes to certain businesses. He is that. Those ladies who interviewed with the old boy, that she claimed of what he did with her, and after signing the contract, and how he handled her when she would ask questions about where were they at on the getting the project completed. He is a shyster. He is dirty. He comes on there just like what Good Bad Apple just said. He'll go to a work site, and half of those folks don't speak no damn English. They think he's just up there posting or something, and he'll say all this stuff like he's really over that project. He ain't over shit. Sorry.
So Cookie had pointed out that the Fletchers showed their home and how, that they had wealth. He said if the children don't put them in the poorhouse, which was a part of the storyline for today. So she's right. Security is not just for Martell. Yep, Mel Ben had security. She just showed y'all security when the season came on. They show the sky when they get to Tisha and Marceau's. That made me laugh. But the inside of the house looks good, child. They did that update. The inside of the house look good. I can't stand Stormy, but her estate is amazing. Stormy does
Oh,
a estate, a beautiful estate. Marceau is good TV. He is funny to me, child.
now he can be funny. I'll give him that. But to take him serious on any business acumen, hell no.
Somebody taking him serious though.
Mm-mm.
He's not completely just pretending. Something's paying the bills.
Thank you,
Oh,
Something's paying
Diana.
bills.
something's paying.
Yeah, that money that he done stole from people and he in court for, That's who's paying
Okay.
the
And
bills.
those loans.
Simone, I'm gonna have to give your name up when they put that
Allegedly, well, I
when
gotta say allegedly.
they hit me with that whatever. I'm be
And
like,
I'm with Simone. I
oh,
believe they living off those loans that they got,
Oh,
that they
what?
took out.
This is a court documented.
all I'm gonna
Madison
say
County.
is not everybody can walk into any bank and get $1 million loan. That's not how loans
Right.
work. So we
That's
we
right.
talking big game, but they doing something.
They're
And
doing something.
even if it's not on the up and up, they still here.
Yeah, but that stuff come back to bite you in the butt.
To this day, and I would like to think that I'm my credit okay. I it ain't gonna come back when no you get $1 million nothing. Okay. I thought Daddy Scott worked all day at General Motors. Well, apparently not, Deborah. Apparently they spilled the beans after Moses was letting everybody know what was going on with his history. Maurice felt compelled to share his own daddy. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah. But yeah, y'all, this is pretty much I think we crack-a-lacked everything we could possibly say tonight on everything. Do y'all have any last words you'd like to share?
Thank you for having me up, Diana. You have a good weekend, ladies.
I appreciate you so much, Diana. I'm telling on your ass. Well, you better not. You can come over here and snitch on me, child. Anywho, anywho, I appreciate everybody who came up on the panel tonight. It has been fun. We talked about Kenya Moore. We talked about the show. I let y'all talk about the show. We took a walk down memory lane, child. Dissolve. Once some businesses was dissolved, it was no longer about business. If we get back to business, people got to show that they back in business. Okay. So we doing that. What else is going on? That's pretty much it. We are, of course, are still sending our condolences out to the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Kiki Jabbar and to their entire family, the entire families, because everybody's hurting. Her passing definitely has humbled everyone. And I am just praying that everybody can stay on their trajectory. Okay, I want that son to go to school and play his football. Kiki was proud of that baby. She was proud of all of her babies, and they all are beautiful kids. So I want everybody to make sure that we keep them in our prayers, right? And what else? What else? I think that's about it. I always love having y'all come up. I mean, I am loving these late nights, okay, on Saturday so we can talk about stuff. Just winding up the week and getting our thoughts and feelings out. And you guys always have amazing things to say. It's always a great conversation. So I love y'all. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having us, Diana.
Make sure y'all come back
Good night,
tomorrow.
ladies.
Bye.
Okay, I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye. See y'all tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern with my sister Clone. We're going to talk about everything that we saw. And thank you to all of my moderators. Y'all are always amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you for volunteering your time. And thank you to anyone who blessed the channel. I appreciate y'all. Okay, until next time, I will see you. Bye-bye.